Welcome to Leadership Unleashed, the show that will explore the multifaceted world of leadership through insightful interviews, thought-provoking discussions, and practical advice from leaders throughout Westchester County and beyond. I'm your host, Dr. Marsha Gordon, President and CEO of the Business Council of Westchester. Today, we're excited to bring you a special episode of Leadership Unleashed, featuring George Williams, President and CEO of A.G. Williams Painting, and a 2025 Hall of Fame winner of the Small Business Success Award we'll be celebrating on April 29th, as well as Nicholas, we're going to call you Nick, Williams, the production manager for A.G. Williams Painting. George and Nick, thank you so much for being with us today. And we are so proud to have Westchester Medical Center as the premier sponsor of the Leadership Unleashed podcast. Thank you.
A lot goes into planning a birthday. For my daughter Cameron, it started with a stem cell transplant to cure her sickle cell disease. Yes, cure. Westchester Medical Center Health Network uses every technology, technique, and talented specialist to conquer diseases that could otherwise rob a child of childhood, helping my daughter and thousands of others at Maria Ferrari Children's Hospital. Happy birthday, Cameron.
Happy birthday to
WMC Health, advancing care here.
It's such a pleasure to be highlighting our Hall of Fame winners and learning more about you.
Thank you for having us.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Before we begin, can you tell the audience a little bit about yourself and the work that your company does?
I'm fortunate to have taken over at a very early age. My grandfather's painting company started in 1906.
Wow.
We grew the company tremendously, obviously over the last 50 years.
Nearly 120 years.
Only 120 years, yeah. We paint primarily residences and buildings and commercial and residential throughout Westchester, Fairfield counties, Putnam, Pauling, the greater New York area.
And George, can you tell us a little bit about the company's journey and how it all began?
It's a great story. In 1904, my grandfather came through Ellis Island. He came from Greece. His last name was Ratsikas. He goes to Ellis Island. They give him the name of Rogers. So actually, I'm Mr. Rogers. So he's working in New York City, and he's painting for another contractor. He decides to start his own business in 1906. He loves Sherwin-Williams paint so much, he takes the Williams name. He decides to call himself Williams. His last name is Williams from that point forward. It's a true story. Never
Great
changed
story.
It legally.
I never knew that.
That's how we got the name. So, and you think about the company, he started July 22nd, 1906. I have the certificates of business in my office, original paperwork. So we went through 2 world wars, 2 pandemics, multiple recessions, a depression, and we're still here.
And you're still here. Well, that is an incredible legacy, and it certainly took generational leadership to get that done. And talking about how things change or are the same, you work with the trades. What is your perspective on the current state of the trades, both in general and in Westchester?
We have a tremendous skills gap in the trades. There are not enough young people coming into the trades. I believe since I was a young man that our society has pounded education and higher education so much into our fabric that people are saying, well, gee, if you don't go to college, you're not an intelligent person. That's not true. I believe in education. I believe you should have a higher education. But there's nothing wrong with becoming someone who works with your hands. Air conditioning, plumbing, painting. We have many 6-figure painters, who work and they do very well. Is it enough in Westchester? Probably not, but it's a pathway. For sure.
And it's certainly a pathway to be with a company like A.J. Williams that really cares about your employees. How many employees do you have?
At the height of our season, we'll have about 80.
That's a good number of employees, yeah. So you care about your employees, and you obviously have a great deal of respect for their abilities and their painting skills and everything else.
So the industry, painting industry, is a fragmented, transient industry. There's a lot of turnover, typically with companies. We have one gentleman today, we were in a meeting, an insurance meeting. He's with us 45 years. It's unheard of. We have many, many, many employees that are 20, 25, 30. Generally in business, I think a long-term employee today is 5 years.
And what do you think that you're doing right to have that happen, Nick?
I think part of why we have a lot of retention compared to other people in our industry is the loyalty and commitment to them. We try to keep them busy all year round, whereas many other painting contractors, once the winter comes and you can't work outside, they'll close up shop until the spring. We don't do that. We try to keep everyone busy as long as we can, as often as we can. Full transparency with these guys goes a long way, and offering a bunch of different benefits that many other places just don't have. It goes a long way with these fellas.
I'll tell you one thing. It may sound a little odd in the business world, and it is odd, but in the painting industry, there are many employees that come from other companies and tell us that they haven't been paid in 6 weeks or 8 weeks or 5 weeks.
That's frightening.
It is frightening. We never missed a payroll in our entire history. Never missed a payroll. If I had to go into my own pocket to pay these people, we did.
Well, thank you. Thank you for your commitment to your employees. And also, A.G. Williams is well known for your commitment to giving back to the community. Why is community involvement such an important part of your company's mission at A.G. Williams?
I've always believed in giving back to society. It's a way of saying thank you. It's good. It's good for your own moral fiber. We do about $100,000 worth of charity work a year into the community.
$100,000 of charity work.
Yeah.
Can you give us some examples?
We did a lot of work for veterans, first responders. I'm trying to get involved in Tunnel to Towers.
Love it.
We do a lot of work. Like if we ever do a house of worship, we always give something back on the last invoice, a 10% discount or something. It's important to show the community you care about them. They're the ones that keep us in business.
And Nick, as part of the younger generation of this wonderful family business that you're in, what is your view on giving back to the community?
No, I think I share a lot of the same value. Definitely just to keep the community afloat, and just from not to say from a selfish perspective of keeping our name out there, but just being able to help out around, especially those who are less fortunate. It's a nice little service to give to them.
That's great. Running a business, let's face it, for over a century comes with its share of challenges also. And as you said, you've been through 2 pandemics and world wars and more. What do you think has helped A.G. Williams not only survive, but really thrive for it all? After all, we're bestowing you at the Business Council of Westchester the Small Business Award. And that's, congratulations on that.
Thank you. For my own personal journey, I never knew my grandfather. I heard a lot of stories about, but watching my father work constantly to make sure that the business was successful, and he was a generation. He's a generation child of the Depression, so his values were steeped deeply in hard work and a strong work ethic. And watching him made me realize that you got to work hard to get ahead. And that's what instilled watching him, and I wanted to be like him. And
that's great. Nick, what do you think?
I think to boil it down simply, I think strong leadership and full transparency and communication with the guys goes a long way. Like my father said, his father, he was hands-on with the guys. He was there with them in the thick of it and talking with them about all these different issues that were happening. Just being able to keep everyone in the loop, everyone's on the same page, it goes a long way.
That's great. So the 4th generation of the Williams family is now part of the business. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Which is a rare and meaningful achievement. How have you managed to keep family members engaged and involved across generations?
That's a great question. Being able to just get into these various different segments. So for example, a couple of years ago, we started doing epoxy floor coating. So my brother and myself have pretty much spearheaded that whole thing, taking it to be a relatively good portion of our business at this point. And just getting involved in all the different things. So like with the insurance, for example, or coming to these, or talking with anyone and everyone, just getting out there more.
That's great.
I think what's important, and correct me if I'm wrong, Nick, I never pressured Nicholas or his brother to come into the family business. In fact, I did the opposite. I tried to persuade him not to come in, to do something different. And
Very interesting.
here they are.
Yes.
I tried to stave it off as long as I could. It was inevitable.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's good when I talk to people that have family businesses and next generations for somebody to go out and do something else for a while and then decide, learn those skills and different cultures and then come back and bring it back into the business. So
Well,
I
you
think
did
that.
that. You did that.
Yeah, I right out of college, I went and worked for Northwestern Mutual for a bit. I worked in a call center. I volunteered as an EMT for a couple of years. So there's a bunch of different skills that I learned with that, and coming into the company, learning about all the different technology aspects of it, and just getting involved and seeing it. It's a lot more interesting than I ever gave it credit for.
That's great to hear. What are your thoughts on building and sustaining the workforce of the future? The workforce of the future is sitting next to you, but you're thinking of your workforce, of your future. What does that workforce look like in your industry now?
As I said, there's a big lack of people willing to come into the trades, and I'm hoping that's going to change in the next few years. And we have our training program. We have incentivized.
Do you have a formal training program?
Formal training program, yeah. Formal training program, from apprentice level up to master mechanic.
That's great. Any females in the business?
Yeah, we have 2 in the field now.
That's great.
You find females in decorative painting or wallpaper painting, but one thing is being an older guy and doing this hands-on my whole life, I always said to myself, they'll never do it like I did it. So I've come to this realization, I'll say this publicly, they'll do it better.
That's great.
They'll do it better.
What a compliment.
It's the first time I'm hearing it.
They'll do it better.
That's great. That's great. And how do you keep your peers motivated and those coming after you?
Well, right now there's not many younger than me in this, so we got to find ways to really entice them into seeing that the trades are a viable career option. Like we were saying earlier, the past 30, 40 years have seen that huge shift towards higher education, being a doctor, a lawyer, that kind of stuff, completely neglecting the trades, or at least some of these quote-unquote lower segment trades. And it's creating a big void that we're just not really able to fill at the moment.
Well, it's really important. Small business is the backbone of the economy all across the country, certainly in Westchester County. We are so fortunate to have the global corporations here and many large organizations as well, universities, hospitals, and more. But it's the small businesses who come together and work together and support each other. And I know you refer each other and you get the word out and you build your communities. And you're the ones who are really, really making a difference. And then to have a small business that's also a family business, a 4th generation family business, I can't think of anything more special than that. And boy, are we going to celebrate at the Hall of Fame on April 29th at Glen Island Harbor Club. So look forward to seeing you there. Congratulations to you on your honor. And thank you for all of your commitment to Westchester County. You so much deserve this Hall of Fame award.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
It's been my pleasure to have you on Leadership Unleashed. And we really also want to thank our wonderful sponsor, Westchester Medical Center, and our listeners. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Be sure to check out the BCW Podcast Network's expansive lineup of shows: Leadership Unleashed, What's Trending, Advocacy and Politics Unplugged, the Member Spotlight, and Nonprofit Voices of Impact. The Business Council of Westchester is the county's largest business membership organization focusing on economic development and advocacy. With over 1,100 members, it is our mission to work for the profitability of our members and the prosperity of the Westchester community. To learn more, go to thebcw.org.